What is going on, guys? It is Steven, your semi-comprehensive guide here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to transfer your data and applications from your PlayStation 4 to your PlayStation 5 console. Now, there are two different methods we can use to transfer all of our stuff from our PlayStation 4. The first method is Sony's recommended method, and it involves transferring all of that data over the internet from our PlayStation 4. The second method is the one I personally recommend, and it involves using an external hard drive formatted with our PlayStation 4 and then reformatting it with our PlayStation 5 to transfer all of our data over. So each method has its pros and its cons, and I'll be covering all of those along with a detailed explanation of how to actually perform the transfer. But if you were looking for any one of these methods and you don't want to hear me talk about the other one, then just skip to one of the timestamps on the screen right now. It'll take you directly to your method of choice. Alright, so let's get started with method 1. This is going to be the method that is recommended to you by the PlayStation when you are first going through the initial setup. So the way this method works is we basically turn on our PlayStation 4, we turn on our PlayStation 5, we have them both connected to the same Wi-Fi network, and then we transfer all the data over the network from our PlayStation 4 to our PlayStation 5. So the main pros for this method are that it is extremely easy to use. All you have to do is go through a few menus to complete the transfer, and the PlayStations take care of the rest themselves. You can also pick and choose which applications and which save data files you transfer, so you're not sending over this massive amount of data to your PlayStation 5. And overall, this method is just more convenient because basically the PlayStations handle this all themselves, and you can just transfer everything over in one large download, and you really don't have to worry about much else. Now, there are also some major cons to this method. The main one being that this transfer will take up storage on your PlayStation 5's SSD. So if it's a small transfer, that's not too big of an issue, but if you're transferring even like one large application, that could be an issue later in the PlayStation 5's life. The second major con is that because this is a transfer that takes place over the internet, it is going to take a while, especially if your internet connection is not that great. So if you live in an area where your internet connection is spotty, then this transfer could take close to a day, depending on how large it is. There is the alternative to use an Ethernet cable as well, so if you do have that option, I would recommend using that instead of the Wi-Fi method. But either way, this transfer is going to take a while. Alright, so let's get started with the method itself. So on your PlayStation 5 home screen, head up and go to Settings, then down to System, and in System Software, go down to Data Transfer. This will be the same screen you see on your PlayStation 5 startup, so if you have not gotten to your PS5 home screen, this is basically the same screen right here. So from here we can go and press Continue. It's going to give us a few warnings and tips for this transfer. So like it says here, we can only transfer our own user data. Be sure that you are logged in with the same user on both PlayStation consoles. You also will not be removing anything from your PlayStation 4. You're essentially just copying it over from your old console, and anything on your extended storage device will not be transferred over. You're going to have to unplug that and format it with your PlayStation 5, which I'll show you how to do in method 2. And the fourth main thing that they do not list here is that we need to make sure that our PlayStation 4 is turned on and connected to the same Wi-Fi network as our PlayStation 5. Alright, so let's continue on. It is now going to ask us to close any applications we have open, so yes, that is fine. And once the application has closed, it's going to once again ask you to connect both of these consoles to the same network. Now, one thing you do have to watch out for is if you have the original PlayStation 4 console like I do, then you're going to have to make sure that it is connected to the same network as the PlayStation 5, because the older PlayStation 4 consoles can only connect to lower band Wi-Fi frequencies. So if you have a Wi-Fi network that has a 5G and a 2.4G network, then you're going to have to be sure that your PlayStation 5 is connected to the lower band network, just like the PlayStation 4. This is not a problem with the newer PlayStation consoles, so the Slim and the Pro do not have this issue because they can connect to both bands of Wi-Fi. Of course, this problem can be completely ignored if you have both consoles connected via an Ethernet cable. So just plug one end into the back of your PlayStation 4, the other end into the back of your PlayStation 5, and then you don't have to worry about any internet connections at all. So if you have slow internet, or if you do have an issue with the Wi-Fi bands, just try using an Ethernet cable, and you can skip all those issues with your network. So let's continue on. and it's going to search for our PlayStation 4. And once it has found it, it's going to ask us to press the power button on our PlayStation 4 just to confirm that it is turned on and it is ready to perform the transfer. So just press the power button, hold it for about 1 second, and your PlayStation 4 will go into this mode where it is just sitting there preparing for the data transfer. Now, a thing to keep in mind is that your PlayStation 4 console does have to be up to date for this to work. This feature is only available in the newest system update, so if you have not updated your PlayStation 4 console in a while, be sure to do that before this system transfer. So on our PlayStation 5, it's just preparing for the data transfer. It might take a few minutes. It is working everything out with PlayStation 4 right now. Everything with this connection depends on your internet speed, so if you have really bad internet, this process could take a while. Not just this process, but the download as well, so keep that in mind. Alright, so the PlayStation 5 has finally connected to the PlayStation 4, so now we have this screen where we can select save data to transfer. So in this case, we don't have to worry too much about what we select here because save data only takes up a few megabytes of data, which is not much compared to the size of the SSD on the PlayStation 5. So we can just select all these if you want, or if the storage space really matters to you, just select the games that you are going to use. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to select YouTube because I already did a data transfer and I don't want to copy over data again. So I'm just going to select YouTube and I'm going to select next. And this will take us to the application selection screen. So this is where you really have to be careful with what you actually transfer over. Try to only transfer the applications and games that you are going to play and are going to use because these take up a lot of storage on your PlayStation 5 console. I would recommend selecting the 5 most played applications that you really want to transfer over. If you want to go bold, you can select all of them to transfer over, but I would not recommend that. So I'm going to press next, and it's going to take me to this screen here where it's going to ask me to confirm my transfer, which I'm fine with. It's also going to give me an estimate of how long the transfer will take. Now, this is not a super accurate estimate. This is basically the estimate for how long the data transfer will take. If you are transferring a lot of applications, it may take a couple hours longer than what they say here for the transfer to finish because the applications will install in the background on your console while you are using it. All right, so I'm going to confirm and it's going to transfer the data over. This is obviously a lot shorter for me because I'm only transferring over a small amount of YouTube save data, but if you have a lot of applications, this transfer could take a while. So mine is just about to finish up here, and once this transfer is done, the PlayStation 5 is going to restart and the PS4 is going to do its own thing over there and it's going to restart and turn off a few times as well. And once the PlayStation 5 has finished, it is going to turn back on again and I can log in just as normal. Now, like I said, if you did transfer applications as well, they will be in the background downloading, so don't expect to play all of your applications right away because it might be a few more hours before those finish installing. Alright, so that basically does it. We're here on our home screen. We can play games that we do have installed while we wait for the transfer to finish, but for me, my transfer is complete because it was just save data, so I can go ahead and play YouTube and all my data will be there just as if I were on the PlayStation 4. Alright, so moving on to method 2. This is the one I personally recommend because it saves a lot of storage space on your PlayStation 5 and it is just as easy as the first method. This method involves using an external hard drive with our PlayStation 4 and then just reformatting it with our PlayStation 5. So the main pros for this method are, 1, it saves a lot of storage on your PlayStation 5 console. None of the PlayStation 4 games will be on that SSD. They're all going to be neatly tucked away on the external hard drive. The other major pro is that if you already have the external hard drive set up with your PlayStation 4, like I do, then it's just a matter of unplugging it from the PlayStation 4 and plugging it right into your PS5 and it'll be ready to go. All of your games will be there and you can just play them right away without any waiting for transfers to occur. Now, even if you don't already have an external hard drive set up on your PlayStation 4, I still recommend using this process because the transfer time takes about the same from the PlayStation 4 to the external hard drive as it does from your PlayStation 4 to your PlayStation 5. So you're really not wasting any time with method 2. Now, the one major con for this method is that you will have to buy an external hard drive if you don't already have one, and those can be somewhat pricey, around $50 for about a terabyte of storage if you get a good deal. So if you don't already have one, it can seem kind of impractical to buy another thing after you just bought a $500 console, but in my opinion, it is worth it in the long run because you will be saving your future self a lot of pain from having to delete stuff on the PlayStation 5's SSD. Alright, so let's get on to the actual process. So I've already made a few videos on how to transfer stuff from your PlayStation 4's hard drive to your external hard drive, so I'll leave those videos linked down below. There'll also be a card in the top right corner if you want to click onto that. So once you have finished with the formatting of the external hard drive on your PlayStation 4, all you need to do is press and hold the PlayStation button until the quick menu comes up, then go to the top menu where it says sound and devices, then go down to stop using external storage, and it'll unformat it from your PlayStation 4. Then you can remove it by just unplugging it, and all you need to do is plug it into the back of your PlayStation 5. I'm showing the front here because it's easier to see, but ideally you would plug this into one of the back USB ports on the PS5. So just plug it in and it should be good to go. It'll show up right here in the storage section, just down here in extended storage. It will just show up right there with the name of the external hard drive. It'll show you how much space you have available, and you can also change a few options in here, so you can install PlayStation 4 games directly onto this hard drive, so you don't have to worry about anything taking up any space on your PlayStation 5's SSD. So that about does it for today's video. There are a few other methods we can use to transfer just save data from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5, but those methods are a little bit more lengthy and complicated, so I could not fit them into today's video. But if you would like to see them in a future video, let me know down below in the comments and I will get to work on that right away. Once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below any ideas you have for other future videos, and other than that, I've been Steven, your semi-comprehensive guide, and be sure to have a wonderful rest of your day.